Yeah, sweet. We wanted to have a second episode straight after the first one, but unfortunately, we've had a bit of difficulties with COVID. We are in Melbourne, and we're currently in the lockdowns. And so here's the second episode, and what we want to just touch on is just a bit of COVID and a bit of the um, maybe some of the sports that have happened. So I guess first question out there: how is everyone doing?
My whole thing with COVID is it's just a pain staying at home, really. Not being able to go anywhere. But like, I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're doing. Where you sit perspective wise. Like, I just ended up getting the first jab, and sometimes I do think it's like, I hope there's no side effect. But I thought I'll screw it because I want to go travel to New Zealand. So I thought I'll just do it for the travel thing. But yeah, it's more like just interesting having the conversations now and seeing where you stand and sort of like see the stuff on the news, and it's all sort of a bit of a mess. So it's like I almost am trying to run away from it in a way. I'm just trying to be like, just get on with it, but it's not really that easy. That's about where I'm at, really.
How's your journey been with that MVP? How's COVID kind of affected you in any way?
Uh, Actually, personally, it hasn't really affected me, to be honest. I've just been still living the same. Like, I didn't get up too much, like, in terms of like going out, and I don't do that kind of stuff. People don't believe me when I tell them this. Like, I actually don't hang around a lot of people. Like, um, as out there as I seem on my stuff that I do, I'm actually really not like that. I just don't like being around people all the time. Um, so the whole lockdown thing, life's just been the same. Just what I do anyway, like just stay home, do my stuff, and where the whole COVID thing does frustrate me though is just seeing how many people are suffering during these times, and I think that's kind of where it kind of hits me a little deep. But it's caused such a huge division between everybody. I've seen close friends no longer close friends because of the difference in opinions. I've seen families go against each other. It's a crazy time, and who would have thought we'd be living in a time like this? Like, I'm still like, what the heck are we? This is a freaking movie right now. You see the protesting and the video footage online. We're in a freaking movie. It's freaking Saving Private Ryan, or what the hell are we doing here, man? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, like that's just me. I'm good. I just feel sorry for people.
Have you guys seen that movie Contagion? It's
that's the virus.
Matt Damon. Yeah, Matt Damon.
Pretty much the same. It's about coronavirus, but before coronavirus was real. But it was like more exaggerated because it's a movie, so people getting like blood coming out of their nose and like just like that virus, it's movie virus, but it's quite interesting. But yeah, sorry, man. I recommend watching it.
Saving Private Ryan is a pretty good movie, though.
It is a good movie.
That movie traumatized me because the bit when that dude betrayed them, the German dude, and like he ended up killing that. Like, I hate that scene there because that guy didn't do anything. He like pussied out, and I don't know. That's hard for me, but like I got so mad about that one scene that I've never let it go. Like, it's always like. That's how real that movie was, though. That's like, it was different because it wasn't just your typical, like, everybody's like Sylvester Stallone or something. It's like, they're actually like normal dudes, like, in the war.
Yeah, that's when Vin Diesel was actually pretty cool.
Oh,
now he's like a hyper characterized guy, but like, seeing him in that war form, as part of a troop, that was actually pretty cool seeing that. I remember him just sitting there like a cigarette in his mouth, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. He was like, I don't know. Every troop is, I guess, different battalion. There's always different guys. But yeah, it's pretty cool seeing Diesel on there. Long movie, though.
Well, where do you guys sit on this whole, or how you guys been dealing with COVID?
I think I follow kind of MVP's line where it doesn't really affect me too much. The way the things have been rolled out in terms of Melbourne and how the vaccination and the media publishing. I guess that's just media and propaganda in general, right? Like, it's crazy, and it sucks to really see a lot of people suffering throughout this period of time. It's definitely not the easiest time, and like, there's part of me when I was like, why did I move to Melbourne for this? Like, and when I lived in an apartment, it's funny because within this I've moved to 2 different places, so I've lived in an apartment style life, and I've watched people just leave out of the apartment block. I was like, man, there's nobody on this floor now. Like, everybody's just, I'm getting out of there. Seeing people with their dogs and cats getting out of there, it's just like, nah. And they called it early. They're just like, nah, I'm moving back to New Zealand. Then we had like friends that we know, and I think Elias knows them. Like, they moved back to New Zealand. They're from your wife's company, Elias, and then they was like, it's not even going back to Welly, or this and that. They're like, nah, it's not even worth it. And then some people were just looking at us like, why would you stay here amongst us? But then we thought bigger things down the scale of how Melbourne's means different to us, I guess. But for me, I always hope that Melbourne's going to be something good or something great. And again, there's always something better on the other side of the fence, you think?
Yeah.
But when I actually look at it and I think about my reality of things, I'm truly blessed. I've learned to just count a lot of blessings in the situation where it's like been a great reset for me. I've changed industries during COVID, so that was a big eye opener to realize, I spent 10 years in one industry, and the industry suffered a little bit because hotels can't be running without people coming overseas, and you don't have overseas international clients, you don't have big business. Empty hotels means no work. So we were affected from March last year, and that was just like, damn, I can't even work at all. So I had to rejig, readapt, refine my purpose, and realign myself with my faith, and reaching back to God and saying, hey, what have you got for me? I learned to really dig deep into my Bible reading, my prayer, and just asking, man. I had this dream. I thought I had this dream of being this big shot concierge guy, working in 5-star hotels and parking amazing cars and seeing great people. God just reset me and just said, nah, man. I was just a stepping stone. It was like a huge learning lesson because it helped me reconfigure my life, count my blessings, but not only see the reality of everything that's going wrong too. And it's a blessing now working in mental health, complex mental health at the moment, and seeing it's ever run riot over their lives too, and how much social connection and having their freedoms and having the small wins for them really meant a lot to them, and helping them manage through it is such a hard thing to. Like, it's made me just look at things in a whole different scale. I can't wait to get back out to the freedoms, because the freedoms that we used to express was traveling, and I've been wanting to go back to Japan and where all the places that my wife wants to continue to do. But at the same time, we thought about settle down there. So we're fighting between those two things. Do the restrictions and the lockdowns limit us from doing those things? Travel somewhat, yes, but my freedom, I feel like my freedoms haven't really been taken, because my definition of freedom is having a spiritual connection with God, and that's just a huge concern for my life in lockdown right now. Seeing my family go through it is a bit sad, but at the same time, we can also sit there and be like, we got the gold medals, man. We're sitting here, you guys can survive it. We got the gold medals, we just got to push through. But at the same time, you got to understand and have sympathy and say, hey, not it's hard what they're going through. But you're seeing them pull together, which is really, really good. You're seeing them a lot pull together, and that's what you want. You need to unite and become closer and help rely on each other like we do back in the islands, as villages.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
And that's
kind of,
what I think people just realize. You've got to look back
yeah.
of yourself and your community.
Mm,
The government's trying to do what they can. They're trying to do the best they can, but there has been a lot of, I guess, misinformation, some misguided ignorance sometimes, and some people just got to chill, relax, and I guess they've got to start talking to one another and start, instead of yelling at each other. I think like what we do here, we've got to start talking with each other and going through these things. There's a lot of frustration for sure, but yeah, violence seems is a bit like, I
yeah.
don't work well with the violence too, whether it's at other families, other cultures, other police, and all that stuff. One thing I noticed though, like, which is really, really good, it's actually made a lot of the things that the third world problems became no longer like the third world problems like don't exist for us, and it's now about survival. When you move away all those distractions, all those things, you figure out what things in life we should focus on, which has been at least to see a bit more clarity. But yeah, I do hear stories of other people. Man, I've lost my friends. Man, I've figured out who the real ones are, my day ones. Oh man, that's good. It's good. I think you're in your 30s.
Yeah.
You should already figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, not saying you have enemies. You just, I guess, don't have certain people in your life that you don't really need.
Yeah, man.
Unless
100%.
they add to your life rather than take away from your life. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
PJ, what do you think?
Man, I'm not gonna say like I didn't see it coming. I don't know if anyone knows me and my wife, like we've kind of been following this stuff for a while. I'm one of those people when they're like, oh, conspiracy theorists or whatever, like whatever the FBI wants, whatever words they want to come up with. But but yeah, I'm one of those people. And so to be able to see it unfold and just to see it come to fruition, like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like like who would have, a few years back, people were like, man, why do all these, Asian people wear these masks all the time? Why do they wear these masks and like around the city and stuff? And then like now everyone's wearing one, and it kind of, you know, almost like China is kind of like a foreshadow of like what has happened now, and like I'm not trying to, hate on the Chinese. Like most of the stuff that we have in our house are like made in China. Like but like for me, um yeah, it's kind of I went through a period where it annoyed me a lot, where really it got under my skin, and I just felt like we needed to leave. Um like not even just like the suburbs or whatever, but leave like society in general. And and man, I was like telling people, I was like, man, we gotta leave. And then like, yeah, there's just like a whole bunch of things that kind of that I started to realize, and I had to calm down because for one, like, I still have my family in New Zealand, family in Brisbane, um family all over pretty much. And we still want to be connected with them, and like I still think of like my wife and my daughter, and we always talk about what the next move is and stuff, and like what we are to do. Um, but at the same time, like, the government's kind of got everyone's hands tied, like where to move, or like where, like, move job wise, move anything, um a lot of propaganda just like going around about, you know, how many police are going to be here, and there, or whatever. But obviously, there's not enough police in Melbourne to be able to police everything. So yeah, just seeing like some of their like random acts that the police have been doing just to show their strength. When it's like, you know, 20-on-1 or whatever. You know, that's hurt me in some ways. Like some of the people that I actually know, you know, getting harassed by police, and you know that sucks because, you know, we grow up wanting to be policemen. I served a mission, and when I got back, I was like, man, I really want to be a policeman. But yeah, it's caused a divide, like not even vaxxed, unvaxxed, but police and within the police force. As well, there was this lady that was talking, I forgot her name, but she came out and talked about
acting sergeant general.
Yeah.
Yeah. I listened to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just cool to get some perspective, and you're seeing more people, you know, come out of that silence, or like take off that muzzle and being able to talk just openly and freely. But yeah, where I am right now, there is just I'm just at peace, you know, whatever comes from it, like it will happen, and all I can do is try my best and just to do right by what the Spirit tells me as a leader of my family, and we go from there. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Have any of you been? I guess this is gonna be the hard one around. Have any of you been affected by the mandates, the vaccine mandates that's happened at the moment?
Oh, like for instance, I can't, because I work in sport, I can't go to the venues unless I'm double vaxxed. So that's part of the other reason why I was like, oh, well, I've got to get it for that, and I've got to get it to travel. So there's just all these reasons. But yeah, I haven't thought too much about what might happen. I'm just kind of like putting my faith in God more than anything at this point, just thinking, oh, well, if Allah wills it, you know, it is what it is. I mean, hopefully we're not being set down this road of a mistake that could happen later. Like I had this sort of puts a bit of a lighter look on this whole thing, but when I was going for a walk, I was sort of daydreaming, and I was just like, eventually, like 5 years from now, there's going to be like different side effects. So it's either if you were double jabbed, you're like some sort of mutant sort of person, and if you were like half vaxxed, like something happened where there's like a disaster and then there was no vaccines left, and so the people that had the half vaxxed, they've got like half of the mutant stuff, and the people that didn't get vaxxed at all, like some got really sick and some people evolved. So it's like, I don't know, I had this like silly ass thought, and then I was just like, oh,
X-Men.
Yeah, pretty much like X-Men. But it's no. I mean, obviously, we all know the reality is a lot more bleak. But I just thought about it. I was like, oh well, whatever happens, happens. But that's I have to get it. Like all the it's going to affect even people going to footy games and stuff like that, especially here in Melbourne, probably in New South Wales, like the MCG and those kind of venues, the bigger ones. You know, they're going to have strict laws. They're probably going to mean that it probably just means that people, not just the staff, but people like patrons are going to have to get vaccinated. So it's going to change things. So
it's pretty hard. Like I think it's. I don't agree with the propaganda that's saying that it's the right thing to do. Probably don't agree with that term, that it's the right thing, because it's not like it's a matter of morality, but they're mincing the words. This is doing it right because, you know, they think that's the safe thing to do. So it's like they're replacing safe for right, you know. Because that can cause a lot of division, you know. Oh, you know, the other guy on the other side of the fence goes, no, that's right, do that. And it becomes just a war. But yeah, the propaganda around it in Melbourne's been, like, to be honest, like seeing different promotions on how they've put out vaccinations, whether it's incentivized or non-incentivized. Like they started all the fair campaigns. It was like, yeah, great way to start the vision, because that's basically how war is really built. You know?
Yeah, what about
Wars-
the
wars are true.
KFC one?
Yeah, oh, the KFC one.
That one's ugly. Eh?
That one's just
It's
serious,
just rude.
serious
Bro.
profile. You know?
Mate, that's our people's Achilles heel, man. The KFC.
Bro, if it was Red Rooster, oh man, I'm there.
Oh, but I don't know. For me, I don't know. Oof. I don't know. I'd probably take probably be a good double quarter pounder meal. I think would get me there with maybe chicken sauce, and burger, maybe steam the buns. I think that'll get me. What about you guys? What will get you guys?
It's funny that you said that.
Burger Fuel. They should go Burger Fuel if they're going to do that in New Zealand. But I mean, if it was here in Australia, I mean, why even limit it to just one food place anyway? Just give you like a Uber Eats voucher, like
Hey,
$50 Uber Eats voucher. There you go.
Oh,
I like that idea.
Yeah. Let's
Bro,
not
you-
discriminate here. You know,
you should
KFC
run, bro. You should run for Dan's job.
You know, Dan's looking like he wish he never came back from his break. I mean, that controversial, like the amount of stories about Dan Andrews when he disappeared. Like I've read heaps, man. Like guys like saying, "Oh, he was looking at this rich dude's daughter," or the union beat him up, but like all the stories sort of end up with him getting pushed down some stairs. And
That's
probably,
amazing.
bro. That's probably all of those guys got a free hook. You know, so,
It's amazing how many columnists have come out from COVID. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, man.
I guess not that we wanted to drag it out too much with this whole thing, but it's something we wanted to address, and just because we're all going through this together in different ways. It's kind of like I think we're all in the same boat where we know of others that are going through it probably harder than we are. So I guess we're all very blessed, to know that. My work hasn't been any quieter because of COVID. I wish it would, but it's just one of those things, So God has blessed us all, and if you've got a perspective, don't don't be shy to share it. Just remember, be safe about it. Don't antagonize friends or family over it. Just agree to disagree, I suppose. I mean, that's my opinion on it.
That's a hard thing. I think people need to sit down and have more conversations about it and realize that there's potential for more unity around it. Let's segue into sports by saying it's funny how the first freedom that came back instead of restaurants and all that stuff was AFL and NRL. That was the first thing. Entertainment was the first thing to come back rather than other things. So I was like, it's weird how Australia's actually played that card. It's like, oh, let's get back to
That's what I love about this country is their priorities. Their priorities sit well with someone like a bonehead like me, because I just want to see people smashing each other in the ring, or at least playing a good game of footy. Congrats to Penrith Panthers. That was what a season, man. I mean, they shut us down. That's that.
It's good to
preliminary final was. They worked hard for it anyway. I was telling a bunch of Aussie mates that Ivan's technically a Kiwi, so a former warrior, former coach, but that was sick.
6 degrees.
And MVP, your Wallabies did really well recently.
Yeah, man. Like I said before, I want the All Blacks now. Like, play us now. Don't play us in the beginning when we got no chemistry. We got nothing going on for us. Play us now. We're on a 4-game winning streak. See us now. So we beat South Africa twice. They lost to them once.
True.
Like, come on. Come see us now. Who's organizing these things, man?
What's with South Africa and the All Blacks?
Hey,
It's
man,
just
always,
such a.
always with the CG, man. At the World Cup, what happens, man? At the World Cup, what happens, man?
I agree with Gino though. They do.
Now
It
we
would have
need
been more fun to see a more
we need to
competitive
see them now.
Yeah.
We need
and
to see
more
them.
like peak Wallabies team
No,
against.
they're not even peaking yet.
Nah, they're not. But it's like they had some momentum finally. So
Like Quade's that like integral key like piece, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's like when
Yeah.
Dan Carter. He's not Dan Carter level. He won't ever be. But it's like when Dan Carter came back in 2015, and then like he was that drop kick that made the difference.
yeah,
That like ice the game or change the game. So now he's like a bit of a. He's not like game breaker Quade. He's like this cool, calm, collected.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's just like at a right mind space to carry that number 10 spot,
Yeah.
because I feel like there's a lot of 10s that have like come and gone, like for Australia.
They haven't had a good number 10 for a while. Eh?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's been any you
And,
can think of.
Noah's actually pretty good though. He's still young. He's still a bit green. What do you think, MVP?
Who's that?
Noah Lolasil.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I think he's just still too young at the moment. But the All Blacks games, I'm sure, gave him an idea of where he needs to be at to compete at that level. So a lot of people are writing him off and stuff and trying to get rid of him. But nah, man, I see him being a really good number 10 in the future. So, and Quade's there to kind of teach him and show him some stuff now.
Or the whole Wallaby squad is going to go to what's his name? What's that fella's name? Sonny Bill. They're all gonna go to his house and learn from him and have a whole bunch of mates.
Hey, that's good on Sonny Bill though. He's awesome, man.
Apparently, that's the man.
Apparently, there's something on New Zealand Herald coming out about like his whole transformation, which is a good post to speak about soon. But it's dropped.
That's Sonny Bill.
Yeah, like New Zealand Herald, him pretty much. Well, it's kind of like he's doing his whole biography run right now. Like,
yeah, I think he had pre-orders for his book.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Pre-press for that. So
Sonny Bill's like the Khabib for us Muslims. He's the Khabib of rugby and league for us because he's a Muslim and he's the GOAT. So
he's a winner, man. Like
he's a winner, man.
Everywhere he goes, he wins. And I don't know. I like I'm a Wallabies fan, but I like the All Blacks team too. Like even Samu Kerevi has come back. He's had a pretty good impact, and he talked about how Beauden Barrett was the one that kind of like helped him out with his game and how to see things, and that's kind of helped him. So like a lot of these guys are getting help from All Blacks players, because All Blacks players are the pinnacle of the sport, and so it's pretty cool seeing, because we've always had this rivalry, Australia versus New Zealand, and obviously New Zealand always wins, but like it's pretty cool to see the players mixed together like that and kind of like help each other out.
Well, it's like that post we saw in Townsville when all the captains were catching up and doing that film shoot together or photo shoot. And they were just hanging out, and other players are like, they're just like, it's cool. It just shows like the sportsmanship and that camaraderie as well, because they're all, for the most part, most of those teams are away from home. So
I think a lot of people don't give a lot of Kiwis don't give Michael Hooper enough respect.
Oh, Hooper's great, man. Hooper's just the man.
Like you chuck him in any team, man.
Yeah, he's there. He's your, I guess, Wallabies answer to a Richie type of guy. He's got that sort of. He carries himself.
He just doesn't have the political prowess that Richie McCaw does. Yeah. Richie knows how to play the refs. As a Wallabies fan, you know that. Eh?
Yeah, totally.
He knows how to play the refs.
Yeah, I think it's cool too, because I think now Hooper is really getting his shine, because when he was playing, David Pocock was there, and people were always saying Pocock was the better number 7 and he should be playing that position, and why is Hooper there? Hooper should be on the bench. And so people never really gave Hooper credit for the way he played. They were saying it's too small to play that position. And now that Pocock's gone, and now people are really starting to see his true value. Like he's a gamer, man. He goes hard.
He does go. He always comes out like he's had everyone walk on his face in like the first half of the game. He's always like, but that just shows his output and input to his team. I gotta, I guess, because tomorrow's a big day for boxing. Who you guys got with the Deontay Tyson Fury fight?
Bronze Bomber, Mr. One Punch Man.
I want him to win so badly, but I just don't know how.
It's going to be the most entertaining fight. Like it's like a WWE World Heavyweight.
Deontay's come in around just under 240 pounds. Tyson's come in around almost 280 pounds.
Yeah,
like 270 something. It's just the weight difference is ridiculous. But you know, Fury didn't show a shirt or anything. Does that mean he's just playing mind games? Is he shredded under that? I mean, he's huge, but the power is a big problem. Like when he knocked Deontay down the first time and he got him behind the ear type of thing, it was like, yeah, he started bleeding out of his ear, man. That's how much power he had. You know, he like punched his drums out and then like just couldn't get a front foot. So I'm just hoping that Deontay can catch him. But
that was it with that fight. Like Deontay they called it off and he was just in the corner because he was dizzy. But if he could swing all day, he'll swing all day.
yeah,
But yeah, man, I'm hoping it's just gonna be fireworks, bro. Just straight like heavyweight style. Like that's all we're gonna see. Like it's gonna be fireworks, bro. I reckon. And I wonder what Deontay's gonna wear too.
he can't use this.
It's gonna be like Piccolo wear like an 80-pound suit.
Come here, Piccolo's.
Yeah.
Man, it's probably get Tyson Fury. But I'm not like a crazy fan of either. But it's a good fight. I'm a fan of the fight, and I just think Fury's got his number. You know, if he can just avoid the big shot, I think he'll ride it out to a decision probably. But
yeah, you're right.
We'll see. That's the thing about the fight game. Just never know.
Never know. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully Tyson Fury comes out on top, eh?
Yeah, I hope Mike Tyson wins, eh? Oh, Tyson.
What do you think about potential Mike Tyson and I think it's Logan Paul?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I saw Jake Paul and Tommy Fury they're getting close to that actually, being a possibility, but I don't know. I heard because the same thing like Vitor. I follow Vitor on Facebook, and he's always like posting these. He's crazy, bro. He's definitely back on the source because even this post, it's like he's like just jacked and just saying, you know, I'm ready to go, ready to fight anytime, and you kind of thing. It's like, mate, you're like in your 50s, aren't you? Like, but he's on the source. Just before I guess we wrap it up, like. I think Steven's got something he wanted us to sort of share, just a bit of a upcoming challenge that we might be looking to do.
Yeah, cool. Because it's actually leading up to Mental Health Week, which is pretty much from the 11th onwards. I had this idea that hopefully we're definitely all on board is to do the Bounce Back Burpee Challenge. Which means, we do a bit of fundraising. It's, you have to do about 1,534 burpees within 17 days. Sounds impossible, but, you know, we're in the hyperbolic time chamber here, bro. Just trying to get our ultra instinct on. But yeah, it's a charity thing for basically raising more awareness and support for those who work in mental health, which is something that I'm big on, that I love. And, really want to make an impact. Yeah, if anyone wants to join, feel free to let us know. But I think we will be sharing this. Should we move forward, we'll be sharing this on our Instagram page as stories. But not only that, as the chairman said, we'll move forward with posting things that kind of get us through our mental humps or our mental lows that we go through during that week. Because, there are some staggering numbers, not only inside COVID, but also outside COVID when it comes to things like suicide or depression, anxiety, stuff like that. So, look out for it. That's going to be one of our Purpose for a Cause. We'll be hopefully signing up today.
Yeah.
We'll pretty much literally go from there. But yeah, just want to raise the awareness for mental health. We all suffer through it at the moment. Don't be afraid to talk to your family, speak to your families. Not only just to go through these challenges that we're going through, but having conversation and just being able to listen to one another. I think that's kind of the lost art is the art of conversation and able to just listen to your family, speak about those issues that we don't really speak up about, and us as a Pacific Island community to be stronger communicators, and I think that's something that we can always improve on, not only as humans but for us as Pacific Islanders. Speak out, say something, then say nothing. Nothing happens. So reach out to your loved ones even when you're struggling during this time of COVID. Open up that chat, man. You don't know that the person that you're calling to or you're giving the call to, you might have been that lifeline.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us on the podcast. Subscribe, follow us, whatever you need to do, and have a good one.